options trading strategies for beginners for monthly income. I'm not going to go into too complicated of a strategy here, and I'll be using the Trade UI platform. You can check that on the description below if you want free access. And basically, the strategy is pretty straightforward. I don't know how familiar you guys are with supply and demand. I'm not going to get into too much into the fundamentals and, all those Greeks and everything like that. We're going to keep it pretty simple here. Now, the simple aspect here is you have a supply and demand. So you have two major SPY sweeps coming in, basically, that are overwhelming the open interest. Open interest is like the demand or the current positions in that. So you're already seeing that they are trying to enter a very fresh position, and they're buying at the ask. So they're trying to buy at the highest possible cost. And sweeps accesses across multiple exchanges trying to grasp onto that given strike price there, and in this case it was $2.59, and this was on April 24th, and that expires on Friday, and they did this on Monday, and this was the day before that big crash today that we got on 421. And as you can see here, there's some other sweeps too that came in on the 280s and other things like that, but these are very interesting conviction positions because they're very, very out of the money, which shows that they're expecting a somewhat large move in order to go that out of the money, basically outside of where the current price is. So you're thinking they're over here trying to get 259, not quite. They're trying to get the cheapest possible premium that they feel still might move because they're expecting a relatively large move on the given stock price. In this case, SPY being the ETF. And they had, kind of a significant move there into the next day. I'm going to show you guys a little bit of a breakdown of the potential earnings that you could have made, but just to give you guys an overall sweeps idea here, that there was a lot of conviction on the 280 as well, so it wasn't just the 259, but the 259 gives you an idea that they're expecting a big move, because in order for an option to move that deep out of the money, the stock underlying price has to move rather significantly in a day's time, especially since you're factoring in things like volatility and you're factoring in theta, which is basically a decay in the option every day and every amount of time over time, depending on a lot of factors, can cost you money just from holding the stock. It's like if you have an expiring yogurt or dairy product or food product, that over time the option slowly gets worse and worse and worse, just to give you guys an idea on that. But just from holding that 259 here, that had a 60% return on investment, went from $30 to $47 or to 50. So basically you would have got about a 60% return on investment in just an hour following that particular sweep. It's a very high conviction sweep, and you would think, well, it's so deep out of the money or it's so unrealistic, but the thing is, it doesn't matter. The thing is that it's, for the cost basis for them, it's significantly cheaper, and they can buy a bigger position and make a bigger profit. And as you can see here, the open interest went to over 10,000, so they did make quite a bit of monies on that. Just a quick follow-up into the next day, though, as you can see here, that $30 turned into $118. So when you bought the initial one for $30 just the day before, it's already up to $118. So that's 30, 60, 90, 120. That's almost 400%. And it did go a little bit higher, but realistically, I would say you're not going to likely be able to sell at the top where these hedge funds and these institutions and things like that are selling. But that's 400% return on investment. You could put $30 in and made 30, 60, 90, 120 potentially just off that $30. And, for some people, that's like the equivalent of their day job. And this is something that they did in the equivalent of a 24-hour span, and there wasn't a whole lot of effort to follow along with these sweeps. You can just go in a little bit further here. All right. This is the 280 sweeps, as you guys can see here. The 280s were at 420-ish, roughly, ironically, for 420, 2020. Almost thinking they did that in a meme kind of potential way based on that, but not going to get into that. And then they went up to 874. So that was basically almost 100% plus return on your investment right there. So for every 420 you put in, you would have made 420. So as you can see, That's a huge, significant boost in profits just alone on just holding one contract, and it was only slightly out of the money at the time. Now it's deep in the money, and deep in the money basically means it's deeper into that strike price or deeper into whatever the price was. It went down into that further and further and further, just to give you guys a basic idea of that for the beginners. As you can see here, this is SPY playing out. It didn't even attempt to go back above 280, so all those 280 sweeps were in the profit the whole day, even with this little spike here and then it crashing down. There was, at no point did they ever actually lose monies on that. And that's about all I wanted to cover in this video for this particular strategy. Once again, what you're looking for, you want basically a sweep here. Let me scroll back down here. You want basically a sweep here that overwhelms the open interest with a lot of volume, and you want it to be on the ask, and you want it to be on the shorter term. The shorter term indicates a lot of conviction because these people are risking hundreds of thousands, sometimes millions of dollars in order to get that particular sweep. In this case, you had this, this 400, 500K, but you also had all these bearish sweeps above for multiple millions of dollars. And in order for them to profit off of that, SPY had to at least go below 280. So these are pretty obvious. Now, obviously, not every day is going to be this obvious for sweeps, but this was just a good example of following sweeps and how much you can make. Just some other ones that are kind of coming in here, like Snap had bullish sweeps. As you can see here, the green basically indicates that it overwhelmed the bullish, the bullish sentiment. That all it was bullish sweeps. For the most part, you had JD negative sweeps, you had Tesla negative sweeps, you had, like, some of these other ones are mixed with, like, the purple, and then, color coding to very easily spot these kind of plays and to make them very easy for you to find out and flip and make profit off of. These are option scalping strategies, so if you want to check them out and you want more information, check out the tool below. It's tradeui.com. The link will be in the description. And you can check out the Discord server as well if you want more information about this strategy and other strategies about options trading. Thank you for listening in and have a great day.